good? Whenever you're ready. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Salty Hive Experience. Today we are going to be talking about 65 Roses. Today we have Justin and Samantha West. They program 65 Roses. 65 Roses is a competition that we put on, well, it's been going on for quite a while, but we put it on for the first time last year. This year it's going to be June.
I would say we hosted.
We hosted. Okay, that's better. We hosted, better wording. We hosted 65 Roses last year at Salty Hive, and we're doing it again this year. We're super excited. It is going to be June 13th to June 14th. These workouts have now been posted, but I have yet to see them. I have gone through each of them, and I've made my own guesses, and I've also asked for guesses from the community. So we're going to go through them. So let's start.
One thing that people should know, well, two parts, is Olivia is competing in the event in the RX division, so this will be, it's like more than just like her finding out the workouts for the first time. She'll be finding out what she's doing for the first time. And Olivia is a coach here. She also helps program with us, so she provides a multifaceted perspective on the workouts and how we came about them.
Right, so it's kind of fun because I kind of know their minds a little bit. They're crazy minds.
The salty folks know those details about Liv, but I think it's good for 65 Roses folks or whoever else comes across this to know those details.
Great. All right, let's start with workout one. So workout one we know will be done on Friday, so that's going to be the one that we sign up for. Has that been announced yet? Okay. The one that we sign up for, it is going to be 2 7-minute AMRAPs. One of them is going to be rowing and bench press. One of them is going to be rowing and toe to bar. So my guess was you'll have both partners. One partner will do 1 7-minute AMRAP while the other partner is doing the other 7-minute AMRAP. You'll have a 1 to 3 minute rest. I was debating between the two to change weights on the bench press, and then you'll switch. So each partner has to do both. And then you would just put your scores together, and that would be your final score for that one. Maybe even that would be 2 scores. So that was my guess for that one. Another good one we had.
What are you doing for 7 minutes?
Oh, yeah, sorry. No. Sorry. Yes, sorry, I have those too. So the first 7-minute AMRAP, it would be 7 row calories, 7 bench press, weight for RX 95, 135, 95 ladies, 135 guys. And then
guys first, we're old school CrossFit.
I always go ladies first, woman power. Yeah. And then for scaled, I do 95 guys, 65 for the ladies. For the second one, 7 row calories, 7 toe to bar. The reason I picked 7 is because 7-minute AMRAPs. I know you're a guy with your numbers. So I picked 7. I picked 7.
That's not a bad logic there.
Okay, another great guest that we had was from Kate Flynn. She is also from Salty Hive. She's doing RX, and her team is.
Don't know shit.
And her name is Diagnosed and Defended. That's their team name. So she picked 2 7-minute AMRAPs, obviously.
I thought she was naming the event. I'm like, we already.
No. Rows, Bros, and Toes is the name of the event.
I love the name.
For this one, she had 200-meter row, and what would happen is one person would do the row while the other person is getting as many reps as they can on their bench press. Once the rower's done, you'd switch. And then your score would end up being your max bench press or max toe to bar, so it'd be the same with both.
So on that one, the row means absolutely nothing.
Except it makes you switch.
If I'm with Jack, I'm rowing so slow.
So we could
99 bench press. It's kind of like
maybe
terrible workout. I love you, Kate Flynn.
All right. And her weights were
like the bad cop vibe today.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
You're leaning in.
I'm feeling it. Her weights were 135 for the guys, 105 for the ladies.
Oh.
So yeah,
Scaling up the ladies.
She did scale up those.
That is the last movement to do that on.
That is.
Others, you could convince me, not a bench press.
Okay, are we ready to show me the workout?
Did she guess the other one? So it's
the same concept, but with toes to bar. And then when that 200 meters is complete, that's when you'd switch with your partner.
I want to say this now, and I said let's not get too distracted in each workout. And so when we're programming, I would say 2 main three main things are our focus. One, I want them to be fun for the athletes. And then secondarily, like the execution of the workout needs to be simple, if you will, for the judges, for the equipment team, for the amount of equipment we have, the amount of athletes and teams we want to go through. So some of those guesses, I don't hate the workouts, but it's like man, that would be chaotic to try to get a judge to watch all of that.
Right.
It'd be double the judges working, right? So all those things.
Right.
Well, that's even the initial that you showed me. That was the first thing I said is I was like, I don't want to, and we can talk about that when we get there, but I was like, I don't want a judge to have to worry about X
Right.
thing and we'll.
I actually, for mine, my first guess, when I was like, I like this guess actually, but it's too many rowers. Like that would be, we'd have 2 rowers per team, like that'd be crazy. But then when I remembered it was Friday and it was like the floater, I was like, oh, maybe that could work.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I picked that one. I had a backup guess as well, but that was what I went with because I remembered it was the floater.
Okay, so if you haven't now, stop this YouTube video, go find the other YouTube video, or just pull up your Instagram and watch workout 1. Liv's gonna watch
do it.
workout 1.
My own workout 1, yep.
Let's
Rose,
see.
pros and toes.
I'm scared.
65 roses. Workout number 1.
Okay, whose voice is this?
Gabe.
Oh, I like it. I think I got it. Okay, yeah.
That's why I like.
I liked it. Jake A, he's from Salty Up CrossFit, scaled. His team is Hot Mess Express. He guessed alternate full rounds. But yeah, his was 7 calories, 7 bench press. But his weights were for scaled 115 for the ladies, 155 for the guys, and 135 for the ladies, 185 for the guys RX. So he likes bench press. That's obvious there. But his guess was alternate full rounds.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was going to say, we'll get into the weight conversation.
Yeah, I would
probably
say
later.
quickly the meters was very intentional.
Yeah.
And the weight being on the lighter side was very
intense.
Okay.
So
And those both fluctuated. Like,
Sorry,
Yeah,
can
we
you
went-
tell me what the weights were again for bench press?
125 for men, 75 for ladies.
Okay.
And
You'll
then,
use a 45-pound bar.
yep.
RX.
Oh.
And then the scale
Scaled
is
is
55 and
55 and
105.
105.
So 105 for the guys, 50
Okay.
for the ladies, they'll
Yep.
use a 35-pound bar.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I like it. It's good. Do you want to?
We went back and forth a number of times on that one. It didn't change too much. Samantha and I also tested that one, so we can kind of come back to that. We did the full thing.
9 is a tough number. Like 9 toes bar is hard to hold, and then 9 bench press is going to get tiring really fast. Those rounds are going to go by really quick.
Yeah, that was all up for debate when we initially were talking about it. So,
Yeah,
I like
when we
it.
tested it. I feel like it's the right dose, the right stimulus. Like you really, and we'll come back.
We're going to get there? Okay.
yeah.
Okay, let's go to workout 2. So this one is a long chipper, which means...
So that one, nuance on the first one
Okay.
is athletes will just sign up. There'll be up to 4 teams going at a time. That'll all be done on the North Rig here. And that could be 2 scaled 2 RX, 1 scaled 3 RX, 3 scaled 1 RX, whatever. They'll just fill up 4 teams at a time, and athletes will come in. There'll be a warm up area on Friday night. They'll warm up. There'll be judges set up. So it'll be kind of like we run the Open.
Okay.
You'll just kind of show up, jump in your lane, get a score. That will also your score on that one will seed you coming into Saturday, and you'll be
Cool.
we're going to reseed after each workout. So come Saturday morning, there'll be a leaderboard, and you'll be seated with the appropriate people, depending on how many people we get and how many heats. So
Cool. I like it. It's awesome. Okay, let's go workout 2, roped in. So this is going to be a long chipper, which means we go through the list once, we don't come back to the top. It's a one and done. We know there's running, C2 bike, rope climbs, wall balls, and a specialty rope. I'm not even gonna say my guess.
that was some nuance. She went over that quick. Liv's a level 3 trainer, knows her stuff. So chipper, for those of you that aren't as familiar, means a couple of things. Generally 4 or more movements in the workout, and then a more classic chipper would be you don't come back to the movement. So if it was like today's workouts is a 30-minute AMRAP with a bunch of movements, you could kind of halfway check the box of that it's not a couple, it's not a triplet, it's not a single modality movement. It has 4 or more, but it's not your traditional chipper where you fit like this one. We said there's going to be running, there's going to be biking, there's going to be rope climbing, wall balls, jump rope. So this one is as a classic chipper. Once you're done running, you will not come back to the run.
Right.
Once you're done biking, you're done with the bike, you don't come back. So you just work down the list. Kind of like our Salty 50 would be a classic chipper. Sorry.
No, you're good. You ready for a guess? It's all right. You're good. Okay, so our first guess, which I'm going to be honest, I think he might have nailed it, or at least got pretty close. So Josh, he is also from Salty Hive. He's doing RX, and he's on the McMallon's team. Woo, woo, that's my team. So he guessed 4-time 800-meter run with your partner. Dang it!
Gosh, 0 for 1, Josh.
Ready? 800-meter run with a partner. 1,600-meter C2 bike.
0 for
12 rope climbs.
0 for 3.
80 wall balls and 200 of the specialty jump rope.
You made it
With
for a long
those
time.
4, you split with those 4 movements. You split the reps with your partner. Cap 20 minutes.
The idea's in the right spot.
Yeah, there.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, sharing, splitting, the time domains are close.
Okay.
Once he fills that specialty jump rope, he's going to be glad he doesn't have to do 100 to him.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, that might
Did
be
he
a
say
little
a
much.
cap?
20.
20.
Yeah.
Okay.
The cap's
Yep.
close.
The cap-
Did we release the cap?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
All right. You
Okay,
ready?
let's see it.
Any other guesses?
My other guess, which was a 1,000-meter run with your partner, doing it in 200-meter loops. And then 2,000-meter C2, 10 rope climbs.
Not enough.
And then I went back and forth. As you can see, I have 4 different numbers scribbled out for my wall balls. I started with 200, and I was like, that's going to take way too long.
Yeah.
So then I went 100, and I was like, well, I don't think that's enough. And then I went 15 or 150, but I was like, well, that doesn't match our numbers. So I was like, I don't know.
And then 100.
So I ended up with 100 and 100 specialty jump rope with a 20 cap.
Your numbers are close.
Really
Are
close.
closer? Okay, okay.
Yeah. Okay, you ready? Oh, here, turn up the volume.
Oh,
Hold on.
the reason why I thought Josh was going to be so close is because I feel like he did such a good job with his numbers, with how you
it's
like
good.
his numbers. He actually had, what did he have? At first, he put it in a different order. And I was like, the order he has it on there is the order it is. And he was like, well, he didn't specify that. And I was like, you're right. But I think that's the, I'm pretty sure that's the case. So then he like kind of switched it.
65 roses. Workout number 2. Roped in.
Okay. I didn't even think about calories. That's a good idea. Yeah. Duh.
Cow
Teams can
bike,
switch at any time.
20 rope climb,
Yeah.
100 wall ball, 100 jump rope.
Okay.
The idea, you don't have to, but it's like 10 of each.
Mm-hmm.
Basically 10 throughout.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't think of calories.
Teams can switch
Duh.
at any time. But some
Because I was like 1,000 meters is not enough.
times
Yeah.
until rope
But
I mean, 2,000 meters on a bike and 100 cows are going to take about the same.
yeah, those rope climbs are gonna be hard. 10 person. Okay.
Hands gonna gotta be on the rope while biking, while wall balling, while jump roping.
Can you alternate
Okay,
how?
wait for the specialty. You ready? Oh,
No.
something wrong with the video, Brett. That's blurry.
But you're double undering.
Yeah, it's a double.
I wasn't sure if it was double under. It says jump rope.
He said it early on that RX should be proficient at double unders.
You tripped up in that. I saw you.
If you can see my face, I do this.
Oh my gosh, I'm nervous.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Then it just shows.
When will that be announced?
You. So yeah, we can stop it. Scaled says he climbed to 11 and will just single jump.
So when
same
will
thing. We said
specialty be
that-
announced?
We said that our scaled should be proficient in single. I guess this is a good time.
This is a good time, yeah.
Better than to explain it. So kind of if we go a step back to Friday, you'll sign up for a heat time. Let's say you and Josh are in heat 1. Once heat 1 finishes, you have until heat 2 is done to practice with the specialty jump.
Okay,
Once heat 2
nice.
is done, you have to leave the jump ropes alone. There's going to be a designated area for that. And then heat 2 we'll have until heat 3 is done to practice with the specialty.
Oh, awesome.
So you won't, I guess maybe we'll post a picture Thursday night, the day before the competition, just so people know what it is, what it looks like, and everyone can have access to seeing it at the same time. But yeah, in my head, I was like, oh, no problem. We'll just leave the jump ropes in the warm-up area all day. Then I was like, oh, wait, it's the first event on Saturday, so they're really not going to be able to warm up with it.
Yeah,
So
I like that.
outside of Friday night practice, you won't touch it until the workout starts. There won't be any in the warm-up area, and there won't be.
I like it.
Be on the floor.
And we'll try and our goal is to have some people over there to like kind of help. We have some
Yeah,
like some
there's some
cues,
tips.
maybe like Trish and I over there or something.
Yeah.
Can I make some guesses on the specialty rope or no?
People
That's
are-
okay.
People are starting to get close. What I have told people is that it's like a drag rope, it's just harder. Obviously, RX will be doing double unders, scaled will be doing singles. It's weighted, like it's heavy. I'm trying to think what else I've said. People have been like, so at TFX a couple of years ago, we used like a climbing rope,
Right.
jump rope.
Right.
People have been like, is it something like that? I'm like, not quite, but kind of close.
Okay.
So those are all things that
Okay.
I think is fair for everybody to have hints and clues to.
I like
If you're
it.
good at jump rope, you'll be good at this. If you struggle with dubs, you're gonna struggle with these.
Great.
And the biggest change on this one is
Awesome.
we had the jump rope. Court Funk and I tested this one.
Yeah.
We had the jump rope in the middle of the workout. And I can't remember what it was written as. It was more than 100, but as we were working, I'm like, let's stop at 100. And then we decided to swap the order of the jump rope and the climbing rope.
Okay.
2 reasons. One, so every team gets a chunk of rope climbs, some upper body pulling, and 2, if you get stuck on the jump rope, it's at the end of the workout. So
Okay.
It's not in the middle, and people are just stuck there. It is a 25-minute time cap.
Oh, okay.
With I think good times will be close to 20.
Do
I
you
don't know if
expect
you can
people to
sub
get capped?
Yeah, I
Okay.
would say so.
Especially if they struggle with that jump rope too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like if you're not very aerobic and that run is kind of slow and the bike beats you up a little bit, you're not good on a rope. Like this is definitely challenging in a number of different ways. You got to be aerobic, you got to work for a long time, you got to have pretty good output on that bike, you got to be proficient on the rope climb, you got to be willing to hold on to sets of 20 on the wall ball to get through those, and then the jump rope. The jump rope's a big question mark. I think athletes will figure it out, and I think about half of them will really struggle.
Okay.
And at that point, there's going to be a lot of fatigue set in, right? So you
Yeah.
got to be strong on your jump rope with a
Your grips,
new row.
your grips
under
gonna be fatigued with the jump rope. Your legs are gonna be tired from the biking, the running, and the squatting. So
It's going to be a good start to a Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm excited. One other question. You can break things up however you'd like. You don't have to be even.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay.
Outside of the run, you have to both do the run.
Okay.
Yep.
So Josh is doing 60 calories on that bike, and I'm going to do 10. He's going to do the rest. Just kidding.
He's a good rope climber. He should be.
Yeah. Maybe he should just do that one by himself. Just kidding. We ready to move on to the next one? Okay. So this one, workout 3, synced and deadly. We know that it's deadlifts and burpees, and we know that it's going to be fast. So my guess was
no one will get the numbers right
for the weight or the
for the
reps.
the rep scheme. Okay. So
But let's see.
Mine was for time 12.96 of deadlifts and burpees, obviously. Both movements are synchro. I was gonna say lateral burpees over the bar. And my weights were, my thought was where are my thoughts? Oh, right here. 275 for the guys, 185 for the ladies RX, 225 for the guys, 155 for the ladies on scaled. We had some,
really close.
That's close. We had some other good guesses. Steven did 15.95 of deadlift and burpees, all synchro, 285 for the guys, 185 for the ladies. Kylie from C2X, she's in the RX division. She doesn't have a partner yet, nor does she have a name yet.
She signed up?
She signed up though. It's under like I don't know yet. I'll DM you. Is what it says. It's awesome.
So shout out to
she-
Kylie.
Yeah.
Kylie's the gal that competed with Britt last year.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, great.
Okay.
I bet we could find you a partner.
I bet we can
Kylie.
if you're watching
I
this.
have,
DM Salty Hive.
Yeah.
I have a person in mind. I don't want to out him on the podcast, but if you can't find someone, let us know. We'll find someone for you.
Her thought was 65 synchro deadlifts at 135, 185 for the RX, 115 to 155 for the scaled, and then 65 synchro burpees.
Wow.
And
Must
then
have done it last year. Last year, all the reps were
We had a synchro-
65.
I actually had that thought too when
I
I was
went
making
away
my
from that
guesses.
this
Is I was like, do I like make these 65 themed? But yeah, I went away too. Fern's was 21.59 of deadlifts and burpees, similar weights as I did.
For classic.
All
That's a
synchro.
good classic
that.
guess.
Yeah. Should we
Yeah,
should we give it a go? Should we watch it?
This one might be the one I'm most excited about.
It also
Why?
it had to have gone through the most iterations, right?
Really?
We changed it again like 7 hours.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Offer had the video done. We had shot the
Oh.
video, and then we came back in for more.
I mean, we tested it a
Kinda.
week ago. No, we tested the full thing, and it's gone through 2 iterations since then.
Oh my gosh.
We tested the full.
Okay, I'm
original.
excited.
Oh wait, did I turn it? Hold on, let me turn the volume up.
I'm excited for your rep scheme because the fact that you said no one's gonna guess it makes me obviously it's not a classic.
It's not.
Synced and deadly.
Oh.
What this road thing on our floor is for? This is what it's
Got
for.
it. Yeah. Oh. I was pretty close on the weights. No, I wasn't. Oh yeah, I was.
Not far off.
Those are hard numbers. What was it? 18, 12, 7?
So those,
18 is gonna be really tough.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough. Those were pretty specific because we wanted an even number, then an even number, then an odd number, right? So we wanted you to be facing this way on the deadlifts, and then the burpees finish on the same side, and then do the same thing, but then finish your last set of burpees on the other side.
So
then
you finish
cross.
line. Okay. So
So-
that's more for flow.
Got us. Yeah, I mean, we liked the numbers anyway.
Yeah,
this has gone
visual.
through a ton of iterations.
The thing is, even if you get a no rep on the burpee on your 18 and you finish on that side, you've got to come back and face the
Yeah,
crowd.
yep.
So deadlifters have to face the crowd while deadlifting.
Got it.
And partners need to face each other while burpeeing.
Yeah.
But outside of that, you'll synchro at the top of the deadlift, at the bottom of the burpee, and you can get over the bar however you want. I think that just needs to be a thing in CrossFit competitions. Like if you want to hop over the bar, you can. If you want to step and be slower, you can too. So like, there's no requirement on how you get over the bar. Chest and thighs down, synchro with your partner, get to the other side. That finishes your rep.
I like it.
So try to keep it simple. Yeah, this one went through a lot of changes. It was much more complex to begin with. I guess it'd be a good time now. But we had the weights. It was 12.96, right?
It was 12.96 is what we tested.
So
You
yeah,
and
it
I
was
tested.
12.96 with starting at this weight and then going to 275, 185 like you had, and then ending
Oh.
at 325
215.
to 250.
So adding weight each time?
Yeah,
And then,
so
well, you had how we had it set up, and we have a video, but all 3 bars were on that side. So you'd run, you'd grab a bar, put your feet on the tape, do your 12 deadlifts, do your 12 burpees,
Roll it
move the
back.
bar, go grab. But so again, intentional, and it'll be the reason we'll be here soon. We didn't want it that heavy because we just don't need another really heavy test. And we wanted
Pretty heavy.
we wanted it, well, 225, 155 deadlift for 37 reps for an RX athlete, I think is more moderate.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's 225, 155. Okay. For
Scaled
RX.
is 185, 125.
Oh, I saw it wrong. I thought I saw this. That was 275, 185.
So, yeah,
I was
that's
saying wrong. Okay.
155.
Okay. That's okay. I was like 18 at once, 85 is gonna be tough.
And we just didn't
But got it.
We also, I like the visual of the bars, but since it's so fast, I didn't want it to come down to how quickly can people
transition.
move a bar
Yeah.
out, and then it'd be reckless when people want to be throwing that bar into squats
For sure.
and stuff. So
Especially
we try
where-
to simplify it.
Yeah, especially where this is like our fast test. We're like, let's simplify it, make it fast.
Yeah, I mean it's right there on the verge of just hold on and go. Like
Yeah,
it
for
might-
sure.
For a lot of teams, it might be worth a break on your 18 and your 12. But I think it's going to come down to moving really fast on the burpees, staying in sync with your partner. And yeah, it's 3, 2, 1. It's just gas pedal, really.
Is there a time cap on that one?
6 minutes, right?
6
7
minutes.
minutes.
What'd you guys finish it in?
Well, we did
At the hard one
What did we finish in?
4:45 or 4:42, I thought.
with 185.
Or was it 5 something?
No, it wasn't 5 something.
I thought it was 4. I thought it was just under 5.
Oh, maybe I'm mixing up stuff. I was thinking 3 something, but that was our other one, huh? That we tested. I was
I
thinking
think that was
340.
the-
Was that the other thing?
Like the.
Yeah.
You guys
yeah.
tested a lot then.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've all been.
I
They've all been
so was
run
it
through the ringer?
440.
I thought it was 4:45 or 4:42.
I think it was like
'Cause
440.
we were like, okay, if we're sub 5,
Because
You're
note
not
for
the
everybody,
best
my
deadlifter.
current max deadlift is 225. So I tested with the 215, and so then we
but you're
finished.
you're really good at burpees. So I thought it was the two of us testing it would be a good
Yeah.
middle ground for what's
Nice.
possible. But this one, I think this one could be done in 2-ish minutes. Like, I mean, I think
Yeah.
I think low 2s would be flying.
Yeah.
But I do think it could be done sub 3.
Okay. Yeah, it's a nasty one. Okay, we ready to go to workout 4? All right, so
will
this
be
one.
the basically final workout for everybody that's not going to the final.
Okay. So what we know about workout 4, Charlie and Juliet, max lift. It should be obvious. C and J, clean and jerk. Yeah. But we had a couple of different iterations that I had talked to. So my guess was a clean and jerk ladder. Every minute on the minute, it's going to be, every minute on the minute for 5 minutes, but 5 minutes each partner with a 2-minute transition in the middle. So you lift a bar. So males would go 245, 265, 285, 305, 315. Ladies would go 155, 175, 95, 205, 215.
Fun setup.
My thought here was, okay, if multiple people failed 205, your tie break would be stripping the bar to 125 and get as many reps as you can in the next minute. So you still have that rest to get your bar to the 125, but then max reps at 125 for the ladies, 185 for the guys in the next minute. The 2-minute transition is mainly just to get the weight to your partner's weight. So it would be a 12-minute workout. For scaled, I had males 175, 185, 195, 215, 235, and put 225 question mark. Still not the best with the conversions. Females 115, 125, 135, 145, 155. So that was my guess. Courtney, Salty Hive CrossFit RX Quad Squad. Her guess was 1 partner lifts at a time, 12 minutes for a max clean and jerk.
12 minutes.
Then Meg, Salty Hive CrossFit RX Mega Jacked Up is their team. 12 minutes to complete a max clean plus 2 shoulder to overhead. So I thought that was fun. We had Tom from CrossFit 1976. He's
Go, Tom.
he's in the scale division, tired and retired. Guessed 1 rep max clean and jerk. So that's
Nailed it. Good
and
job,
then
Tom.
Kelly's was kind of fun. Kelly was Salty Hive CrossFit scaled. She's on Wad Breath Sahala. Is that how you say that? Do you guys know?
I don't know.
Okay.
Kelly and Collude.
Yes, yeah. So they said a 6-minute AMRAP of 10 power clean and jerks at a light to moderate weight, and then 8
like it.
toes to bar sit up or whatever. And then rest 3 minutes and then 10 minutes for a max clean and jerk for both partners. So do a little something, tire yourself out, and then get a max clean and jerk.
Yeah, it's simple. Tom nailed it.
Tom nailed it. Just a 1 rep max clean and jerk.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's some. I mean, do you want to watch this, or do we
think
just
so.
talk through it? Okay.
Yeah, let's just do it. I'll just do a quick one.
It's like 1 minute, right?
Number 4, Charlie and Juliet.
So males will have to start,
In the cage.
and they have 3 minutes.
From 0 to 3 minutes.
It's gonna go right after synced and deadly.
Both athletes.
So sync. Well,
Oh,
not
so
right
it's
after.
directly?
Yeah, so it's
Well-
a running clock.
It's
That's
7
mean.
minutes after the time cap.
Non-lifting athlete must remain in the cage
sync-
while their partner is
yeah.
active.
What's the time cap? for synced and dead, or yeah.
6 minutes.
Okay.
So there's
So
like
you're gonna have
Male athlete must
6
be
minute
doing
cap
their
with a
flight
1 minute
prior to
transition.
40 minutes on the clock. Once the male athlete is done,
Oh, good. Males go
female
first.
athlete
I get lots of
begins
rest.
setting up their bar.
That's tough, though. Right after that tough workout,
Can assist in the
that's
weight
mean.
You'll have a decent.
you'll have, yeah.
We'll talk about some
Athletes will have 7 minutes of rest if
weight
they
and
have
bar
to.
change can occur prior to the 3 minutes on the clock. Female athlete cannot be
There's some
lifted
nuance
until
in
3
this
minutes on the
language,
clock.
guys. So make sure you're watching, reading. I'll
Athletes
go
can
over
help
it.
in weight adjustments.
We
Okay.
probably stop it.
Yeah. Okay, so simple. I like it. Max clean and jerk.
Similar- If you did last year similar, we like did something on this side and then you flowed to that side and you lifted on that side. So we're sticking with that kind of 2-part
Okay.
setup. So you do your synced and deadly on this side. That's going to be, well, let's talk about the nuances on that one. It's a 6-minute clock. Males will lift first. They have from 0 to 3. There's just one lifting area. Males can lift up to the 3-minute mark as long as that bar is off the ground before 3 minutes. Females will start after the males are done. However, you can't, so if we were partners and I got to my lift at 2 minutes, we could start the transition. So we can start before the 3 minutes. So we could go, I could get my bar off, we could get your bar set up and ready to go. So right at 3 minutes,
Got it.
you can start. You can't start before 3 minutes.
So there's no transition time between the
You
two
have
either.
6
Okay.
minutes.
No.
Got it.
You can,
Dang.
you have 6 minutes, guys have 3 minutes, ladies have 3 minutes.
Uh-huh.
The kicker on the ladies' side is you have to be done with your lift before 6. So you can't start at
Okay.
59. Specifically for transition purposes.
Transitions.
Like,
Okay.
we need teams done at the 6-minute mark. So if it's 5:55, 6, 7, 8, you clean, 9, time, no rep, we got to transition for the next people.
Got it. Okay. Good to know.
It's gonna be, that one is gonna be like hit a number, get a number you know you can hit, get a number you hope you can. If you've done that in under 2 minutes, go for a third. But I would expect athletes get for sure 2. Some will get 3 lifts.
Okay.
I do think it's
good to plan.
This one is important though, because how you were going to start saying. So you have your 6-minute time cap over on synced and deadly with a 1-minute transition. And then there's like a 7-minute station where you're not working. In that 7-minute station, we are going to have a warm-up area.
A bar so you can start.
There's going to be
clean and
2
jerky.
barbells, so you and your partner can start warming up in your 7 minutes off.
Okay.
So then once you transition to your max lift, you've warmed up. It's not like you're not going to have done any clean and jerks when you get over there and your time starts.
Got
You
it.
should be able to so 7 minutes for synced and deadly, 7 minutes to recover
Yep.
and prep your clean and jerk, and then 6 minutes to clean and jerk.
Okay.
Okay, will be the flow. So like at 0, you have from 0 to 6 to do synced and deadly, a 1-minute transition. You go to your warm-up area for 6 minutes, a 1-minute transition. You'll clean and jerk for 6 minutes, a 1-minute transition off. So it'll flow kind of like last year's 2-parter.
Did you guys test the feeling of doing synced and deadly and then hitting a clean and jerk?
We did not.
Okay. I was thinking,
But
the hamstrings might be tired, like the initial pull off the ground is going to be tough. And then after the burpees, I feel like this front rack will be tough. It'll be good.
Starting to come into the gym.
You
we had to
said,
clean up.
Got it.
You were like, I feel pretty ready to lift.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did.
Okay,
I
cool.
did. The next day I did not, but right at that moment, I did.
Luckily, we don't have to lift the next day.
Yeah, and the synced and deadly that we did was a little different.
Yeah.
Right.
Less reps, less burpees. I would say less intensity, less speed. So you should, like I said, the fastest teams I think will be 3-ish minutes on synced and deadly. That means you got 4 minutes to just sip some water and recover before you go into your 6 minutes of clean and jerk
Yeah.
prep.
That's true.
Then you get to clean and jerk.
Yeah.
I truly as a programmer, I don't think it's necessary to test 1 rep maxes in especially a 4 workout setup. But I think people have fun doing it, including myself. So this year and last, I kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Talk myself into it. Dang it, this is annoying on a podcast.
That's okay.
Gosh, there's a word for it. I convinced myself, that's not it. I convinced myself that it's okay if it's done under some fatigue.
Right.
So it's not like the first thing you're doing and you're showing up and you're just rewarding heavy lifting. I rationalize it. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. Kind of rationalize it a little bit more that, okay, well, you got to go fast, and then you got to recover, and then you got to lift.
Right.
And we went back and forth on the time frames. I like that it's only 6 minutes, like Kate's, or
12 minutes.
like giving athletes
Oh,
12
court.
minutes to clean and jerk. What ends up happening is they get to their max in 3.5, 4, 5, and then they're standing there for
They
7,
start doing weird shit.
trying to lift weights that
Right.
they have no business
yeah.
lifting. So on this one, it's gonna test your strength. You might not hit a 1 rep max, but it's like how quickly can you get to a heavy weight and get out of the way and let your
Yeah, for sure.
So it's a little bit more accuracy, pressure. You only got 3 minutes to do it. And it's not just like standing around. It's like, well, I PR'd twice and now I'm trying to clean and jerk something that's 30 pounds heavier than anything I've ever done before.
Yeah.
Right.
So those people, I know people will be like, it's only 3 minutes. How am I supposed to max in 3 minutes? It's like, well, don't look at it as a max. It's just a 1 rep. Like, get to something heavy. That's intentional. I want to keep people safe. Obviously, we can only control so many things, but I think the less time you give people to go for a not reckless, but go for a 1 rep max, the safer you're going to keep it.
In
Yeah.
a competition setting.
As an athlete, a couple things that I like about this is, one, I like that we're not spending 2 hours on a lifting event. Like sometimes it's like this event is so long and it's like you were done 30 minutes ago and they're just barely getting to the last people. Like, so sometimes it's just a really long event. I also I actually really enjoy lifting once I'm like really warm. I think I'm gonna be really warm after Synced and Deadly. So I feel like I enjoy lifting a little warm, plus I don't have as much time to think about it. You kind of just have to go. And I mean, nothing makes me feel stronger than like getting close to my 1 rep max under fatigue, right? Because then I'm like, dude, I just hit 215 under fatigue. That's for sure not my max anymore, right? You know what I mean? It's a confidence builder, I think. So I like that.
Favorite thing about this whole setup, so we've seen this 2 7-minute AMRAPs, the long one, the leaderboard will be reset again.
Yep.
There will be 2 teams going at a time, head to head on both of these. So,
Cool.
let's say we have 12 teams. The team in the 12th and 11th place will come in the door, and they're going to go head to head on Synced and Deadly.
Oh, fun.
And then
That's really fun.
In 9th and 10th place will take the floor, and they'll go head to head. And then they'll move on with that
Right.
same team. So, again, it's right before the final. So we're going to see the 5th place team and the 6th place team going head to head.
That's
on
fun.
Synced and Deadly and on the lift. And it's kind of like, how bad do you want to make that final? You're going to go against and right behind and right in front of the teams that you know you need to beat or that you're trying to not let beat you.
Right.
So as a competitor myself, I think my least favorite thing a local comp fails to do is reseed. And like, it's a race. Like, I want to know who I'm racing against and how fast they're going and what they're lifting. And so we're going to reseed after every single event. Obviously after Friday night, the long one, after the long one, then that's like kind of a pretty different stimulus from sprinting, alternating full rounds, to going long and sharing reps. So I think the leaderboard will be pretty decent at that time. And then we're going to go moderately heavy and then really heavy before the final. So these will be 2 separate scores. But the head-to-head part of the Synced and Deadly, I think, is going to be wild to watch. There might be some matchups that one team goes way faster than the other, but I think there's going to be some that is just like, yeah, burn it down really
That's
fast,
fun.
trying to get over that line as soon as before the other team. So
That's awesome. Okay, we ready to get into the final?
Yep.
Alrighty. So final, what we know, top 5 teams from both Scaled and RX will be doing this. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. There is a max movement. We don't know what that is. I mean,
Max
it
rep,
is.
right. Max rep.
Yes, max rep movement. That is, I believe, has been announced now, but I don't know what it is. Which means the first 2 movements, wall walks and goblet squats, are a buy-in. So my guess was 4 max reps in, I put 8 to 10 minutes. I was in the middle. Was
We decided yet?
I hope so.
Shoot! Oh!
Brett decided to make a video.
I know what the video says.
30 wall walks
Oh, I think I know.
and 60 goblet squats with it 53 for the ladies, 70 for the guys RX, 35 for the ladies, 53 pounds for the scaled. And you would split these in half, but you can split them however you want. So each person does need to do 15 wall walks, but you can go 1 for 1, you can do 5s, whatever that looks like. Same with the goblet
Maybe we
squats.
add that to the
And then in remaining time, max bar muscle ups for RX and max pull ups for scaled. So that was my guess,
What does that say on the side of the pull-up?
or chest to bar. But I decided pull up in this moment.
In right now.
In this very moment,
Why? What's the decision there? Take your athlete hat off and put.
my decision for pull up is because I think a lot of competitions, particularly, I feel like if someone signs up for scaled, and this is not everybody, they're like, chest to bar is not a scaled movement, I don't think. So that's why I picked pull up.
Okay.
So,
I want to come back to that.
okay, cool. Okay, a couple that I liked. Kalud, Salty Hive CrossFit Scaled, she's in Wad Breast Sahala. In 6 minutes, 5 wall walks per partner, so 10 total. 15 goblet squats per partner, so it's 30, with 35 for the ladies, 53 for the guys, and scaled. In remaining time, burpee to target or a box jump over. So that was her guess.
Oh, she's like, it's either going to be a burpee to target.
Yes, or a box jump over. I love Maggie's. Maggie's is awesome.
This
mostly
is the one that I
because
was like, we should
mostly
program
because
this.
Maggie, her
Maggie.
thing is not gonna happen in 10 minutes, but this workout's fucking disgusting. So
Dropping the F-bomb, dude. This is a
Sorry.
friendly show.
it's deep and disgusting. Maggie's from Salty Hive Scaled. She is on Talk Waddy to me, but in 10 minutes, 50 wall walks.
Okay, that's done in 8.
And 100 goblet squats. In remaining time, max thrusters at 95 for the ladies, 135 for the guys. I was like, imagine
That's
like,
not a bad Saturday. Share it.
right.
That's why I said we should
Well,
program
and I was like,
Maybe 25
I was like, okay,
minutes.
10 minutes, no, but taxing your arms for the wall walks and then taxing your legs for the goblet squats to do max thrusters. I was like, that's a pretty nasty workout.
gnarly
So
workout.
Maggie, you're probably not close, but it's a good idea.
Yeah, you might see that coming up on Saturday.
I was gonna say,
Good
next
job.
week.
And it will be in the brief. It'll be thanks to Maggie. I like Jack's guess though. So Jack's Salty Hive CrossFit RX, Mega Jacked Up is their team. In 9 minutes, 2 rounds of 10 wall walks, 5 per partner, 50 goblet squats, 25 per partner. And then he was like, or they could be synchro, and it'd be 2 rounds of 5 and 25. So it would be 5 synchro wall walks and 25 synchro squats. In remaining time, max ring muscle up.
Synchro wall walk would be difficult
Yeah,
execution.
for sure.
Yeah, that one might be the
Might be the
closest. Yours is
closest.
pretty close.
Okay.
The combo of yours and Jack's, I would say.
Okay, nice. Okay, let's see it. Let's see what it is.
All right.
I'm excited.
Have it.
Oh, this one's called Hold On and Hang On. I don't think I mentioned.
Yeah, just skip over the.
I know, the awesome
Cool
names.
Kept me out. Came up with them in the middle.
Josh actually was like, I feel like Hold On and Hang On, it's gonna be something that like we don't have that much. He was like,
Okay, boom. we're
reset,
back.
reset. So
From when I got up to when that happened.
I had forgotten to like really look at the names, but Josh was like, oh, with Hold On and Hang On, he was like, they're probably not gonna, maybe with Hang On means you're gonna have to hang on to those reps because you're not gonna have that much time. So like the in remaining time is maybe like
This is
slow.
my least favorite name.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what to call this one.
Okay. Or he was like, or it's gonna be a max hang on the bar.
And
And I was like, oh, that'd be horrible. Can you open that?
I've seen that a lot. Again, I don't hate a max hang, but that's hard to execute. What's the word I'm looking for? Logistically.
For sure.
Like, do put a time cap on that? Like, some people are gonna hang for minutes,
Right.
right? Like, so anyway.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I can hang for 1 minute. Anyways, let's see.
65 roses. Final. Hold on. Hang on. Both athletes will begin behind
Oh,
at the call of go.
okay.
Will pick up kettlebells while one athlete starts on the wall walks. Teams can switch at any time, but someone must be holding both kettlebells for wall walks to be accumulated. The athlete holding the kettlebells will need to keep both feet on the red line. Once all wall walk reps are completed,
Oh.
athletes will move on to goblet squats. Goblet squat reps will be synced at the bottom. Once all goblet squat reps are completed, athlete will advance to ring muscle ups for max reps in the remaining time. Each team will get one set of rings and access to one riser. Score equals total reps, including wall walks and goblet squats. Tiebreak time will be recorded after the goblet squats. Scale teams
Post my
will use
tricep
25
strain.
Oh.
Doctor told me to do nothing.
RX, a 10-inch line. Both divisions will use a
Doctor said you can do
55-inch line
anything
to start.
but ring muscle ups.
Scaled max rep movement is chest to bar pull-ups. One bar and one riser per team.
Okay. Oh, this is going to be a good one to talk about. Couple of questions before we get into it is, can you split those reps however you want with your partner?
So yeah, maybe a quick synopsis if you didn't watch that. It's a 7-minute AMRAP, buy-in with 20 wall walks. While wall walks are being completed, non-wall walking partner has to hold both kettlebells. So there'll be a 50 in one side and a 70 in the other for RX.
Oh.
And there'll be a 53 and a 35 for scaled.
Okay, so I was
Once
right.
the 20 wall walks are done, 40 synchronized goblet squats at the bottom and the top on the squat. And the remaining time, max ring muscle up for RX, max chest to bar pull up for scaled. What were you asking?
Can you split the reps however you like?
Yeah, those wall walks, yes.
Yeah, the wall walks can be split however.
Nice.
Obviously, the synchro goblet squats need to be done.
Right.
Everyone's doing all 40, and then you can do whatever you want on the muscle up.
I like it. I think that's awesome. I think that's going to be a fun one.
I guess coming back to our decision for the chest to bar on the scaled is, I don't disagree that chest to bar is not a scaled movement. However, on the other side of that coin, what is like the hardest upper body pulling movement you see is that you could maybe argue a legless rope climb, but a ring muscle up, like that's the hardest upper body pulling and pressing gymnastic hanging movement that you see in CrossFit. So if you went to the other side and you asked, what's the hardest upper body hanging movement you ever see in a skill division? I mean, in 25.2,
In the open.
Yeah,
we saw
For sure.
pull-ups. So
absolutely.
and it's like, who do you go to? Where do you go to find that golden standard? Here at Salty Hive, we go to CrossFit. We go to the Open. We go to the games. We go to CrossFit.com. They are the gold standard for our coaches, for our programming. And so I think if a workout like 25.2 has chest to bar pull-ups at the end of it, a final with the final 5 teams after 4 workouts, it's the last movement in the workout. I think if a scaled athlete in the final doesn't have chest to bar pull-ups, that's kind of a red flag. Not a red flag, but it's a invitation to work on that. That should be on the top of your goal list to get that. Same thing would be said for a scaled athlete or an RX athlete. If there's a athlete that makes the top 5 that can rope climb effectively, that can toe to bar effectively, that can wall walk, and they can't get a ring muscle up, like
Right.
that should be at the top of their goal list, right?
Well, and I totally hear you with that. And like, I was back and forth with pull up and chest to bar because, like, I guess it was hard for me because I had a little bit of both, like, especially because I know most of the people in the division. So I was like, well, they have pull-ups. And I was like, so it should be a chest to bar. And I was like, but some of these people might not have a pull-up. And so like so that's kind of where I was at, is where I was like, it was more personalized for me because I knew who was in the division. I know those people. I know how they work out. And so that was kind of where I was like in the middle of those things.
We took that in. I'll let you talk about this.
I was gonna say, yeah, we took that into account. One thing we heavily considered as well is with it being our top 5, we know that there is a high likelihood that at least one partner would be very proficient in their pull-ups. And we did not want at the end of the competition one person getting 100 pull-ups in 3 minutes.
Absolutely.
3.5 minutes
To do
max their
pull-ups.
For
right?
sure.
So the idea of it being a little bit of a stretch was actually very intentional on that front. And with the guy-girl pairs, the male-female pairs, we felt like it was much more likely that at least one of the members of the team would be able to accumulate some level of reps on the chest to bar.
I like it. Yeah, I think that is appropriate.
And that pace would be more similar to a ring muscle up, right? Like even if they're
For sure.
one at a time.
For
some of
sure.
your RX
Well,
teams are
exactly. That's what I was going to say. I was like, a lot of RX athletes do the workout of the day, RX every day, but might not have a ton of ring muscle ups, or at least a high ring muscle up capacity. So it's like, that totally evens out on both sides, I think. So
We
that
did go back
absolutely
and
makes
forth
sense.
With a burpee pull up.
Okay.
For the scaled. Yeah, we talked about that, but ended up with the chest to bar.
Well, and you said,
That's what I was kind of reaching for, because you chose to do, or your guess was bar muscle up, and then you're like, well, on the spot, I'm picking pull up. If it was bar muscle ups for RX, it would probably be pull up for scale.
Yeah.
Okay.
The time cap, I would say, would be a little more tight.
Yep.
Giving them less time, because, like I said, I put the ring muscle up a little higher than the bar muscle up, the same way the chest to bar is a little higher than the pull up, and so that was a conversation back and forth. And the same thing, knowing some of the athletes from our gym that have signed up for scaled, if they had 3.5 minutes to max their pull-ups, that might put them in a weird spot. Like
Right.
doing way too many at the end of a weekend competition. So it's still, I think, some of the better RX teams still could get a chunk of chest to bars, especially depending on if their partner is able to contribute at all.
Totally.
right. Yeah. And then it might also be one of those things where someone's getting their first chest to bar or like something like that, which can be really cool. So, okay, let's kind of do an overview. We went through all the workouts. Now that we've done that, now we can kind of overview the 5. How did you come about these 5 workouts?
I would say I don't know, my brain's always keep coming up with workouts. I really love to program. So when we decided to host 65 Roses again, I liked the 2-part flow of what we did last year, like into a heavy lift. There were a couple, seeing how we executed rope climbs in the final last year, I knew that we could execute rope climbs in a workout, not the final this year. And then at the end of last year, I was like, I think we can pull off ring muscle ups. It's hard to do pull-ups in our setup for a competition because the height of the pull-up bars, right? So that was a big, like, rope climbs are easier. Everyone's climbing the same height, right? You don't need, like, you and Josh can use the same rope versus the same height of a pull-up bar. So doing a traditional workout with pull-ups or chest to bar for all divisions is challenging. So our space doesn't limit, I wouldn't say limits us, but is going to push us in one direction for certain movements. So anyway, when we decided to host again, I think I spent an hour right away and just like threw workouts together. They've changed and evolved many times since then. I don't know, I think we're pretty classic in terms of what we think CrossFit workouts, how we think CrossFit workouts should be programmed. I think I'll let you speak to the boxes that we're trying to check. When we're programming a week here at Salty Hive, when we're programming 5 workouts for a competition.
Yeah. So when we're looking at programming, whether it was for here or for Salty Hive, a few things to consider. We have our different modalities, right? You have your weightlifting, gymnastics, and monostructural. You have your different time domains, short, medium, long. So like, is it 5 minutes or less? Is it 8 to 10 minutes, 20 minutes, right? Your different time domains. And then you have how you compare those. So your couplets, triplets, single, or chipper, like we talked about a little bit earlier. As Justin had alluded to, we live by CrossFit, and they say to live your lives in couplets and triplets, go long occasionally, right? So majority of stuff heavy sometimes, yep. So that's kind of what we did with 65 Roses as well, and I feel like this kind of segues into, we really liked the Friday night workout because it is a triplet. It hits all of your modalities, and we feel like it's pretty well balanced as far as just a CrossFit test goes.
Yeah,
so
I'd say it's 2 couplets.
Yeah, it is 2 couplets,
Touching
but
each of the modalities.
yeah, there you go.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a good kind of classic CrossFit test for us to be our first one to go into Saturday, because we're going to reseed off of that, right? So we really liked that.
Yeah, I think to get a good score on Friday, you got to be able to rip that rower hard and fast, bench under fatigue, then rip the rower hard and fast, and toe to bar under fatigue. So you're touching your monostructural on the rower both times. I mean, that's at the base, so if you're going to touch anything more than anything else, it should be that. And then your strength, it's not very heavy, but we see that the weekend just gets heavier as it goes, and that was intentional. That we didn't want the bench weight to be a limiter. It might be for some, but we didn't want it to be a major limiter. And then you got to be able to toe to bar, which is not the easiest gymnastic movement. And under fatigue, Samantha's a great toe to bar, not our best rower, but I told her when we tested that, I'm like, I'm coming out hot and I'm gonna see if I can hang on. So I was rowing really fast, and it just kind of was like a diminishing return. My rounds were getting faster or staying about the same, and her row kind of got labored, and then her toe to bar got tough at the end.
Okay.
But again, someone who's really good at toe to bar. I mean, you're benching.
After that bench.
Yeah, your shoulders and your chest kind of get tightened up, and then you're expected to open up. So I like the combo. And again, try to touch each modality before we come back and get into something long.
Yeah, I feel like your reps of 9 is so perfect, because it's like, to me, when I think of like a rep scheme, I'm like, okay, 5 is pretty consistent. I can hold 5 bench press, almost at most weights, and 5 toe to bar, no matter the fatigue, depending, right? But 9, it's like, okay, I can. But for how long, right? And especially,
are you gonna need to chalk after that rower,
right?
And toast to bar, because that's gonna come like, I think my rounds for a little bit were 40-ish seconds.
They were very quick.
Oh
So
gosh.
I was like, if you're adding a chalk before that, like that, you add 3 to 4 to 5 seconds a round.
Right.
You're gonna lose out on a whole round after 7 minutes to the team that doesn't chalk.
Right, you're gonna need to chalk in your break time, people.
This was the one, since we're here, when you originally wrote this workout, you had it written as 12-9 calories and 9 of the subsequent movement. And my first response was, I think our judges that we have are freaking awesome, and I just don't want them to have to worry about the change in the reps. And then that is where...
So 12 men would row 12 calories, women
Okay.
would row 9.
Yeah,
Got it.
sorry, yeah, thanks. And so then that's where you came up with the meters, because we had talked about how that was very intentional. We come back to that.
So, and this is pretty nerdy stuff, and a lot of pure programmers, especially in a competition, don't like meters, because the way the monitors work on the Concept 2 machines is the meter is a equal payout. So if you go 1 degree harder, it gives you 1 degree more of meters. The calories are exponential rate of return. So every bit harder you go, you get 2x more calories. So that calories reward going harder, going faster. The people that are able to go hard and go fast on a machine are your bigger, stronger athletes. We have a moderately heavy deadlift, and we have a max lift already, so I didn't want another workout that rewarded big, strong athletes more so. So that's why the meters were chosen.
Got it.
Less of a not reward the big strong people, but give the smaller, less strong people a little bit of a way to keep up on the rower. So yeah, that.
I love that.
So why that weight? I think the weight was originally 135.95.
I think it might have.
It was heavier.
Yeah, I
and
think
then we
145 or 145
95.
or 185 or 85, and then what is 135? I think that's what it was.
I think that's what it
135,
was. And just as we looked over it, we didn't, like he said, we didn't want the bench to be a limiter, so we pulled it down a little bit. And bench, typically your guys are way stronger at that, so there's a little discrepancy there from your standard. What would be an ollie lift?
Yeah, it's like CrossFit looks like one of the early explanations of fitness, and like explaining what we're trying to do in CrossFit is you have a weightlifter or bodybuilder, big strong person, and then you have a aerobic like marathon runner, and then you have a CrossFitter. And it's like at this point in the fitness evolution, you might like throw in like a gymnastic person. So if let's get like really CrossFit geeky, you have a runner, someone who loves conditioning, you have a body weight specialist, you have a weightlifting specialist. Those three teams sign up for this competition. I don't want any one of those types of persons to look at the program and like salivate more about more workouts than others.
Right.
So it's like if we looked at this, the big strong person's like, I can't wait to get to that clean and jerk. Depending on their relationship with burpee, they might be looking forward to that deadlift. But it kind of stops at that point. Oh, the bench press, well, everyone can bench press that way. I just have to row really hard and fast.
Right.
Right. If you look at the aerobic person, they can't wait till Saturday morning to run and bike and do lightweight wall balls. Depending on the rope climb, they also get to jump rope. So there's 3 monostructural elements in that one. And then the gymnastic person, gymnastics is kind of sprinkled all over. So they might be hoping they get to the final to show off the muscle ups. They love the toe to bar. They love the rope climb. I think it's a pretty good balance. And I don't know, there's people out there that's like a weekend competition doesn't have to be balanced like a CrossFit semifinal event or the CrossFit Games. And we believe in CrossFit, and we believe that we should be balanced. I think when we went over it, there is a pretty even distribution of movement. So if you just went row is monostructural, weight, then you got toe to, or bench press, then you got toe to bar. If you like went through and just checked, it's pretty equal.
Right.
And obviously weightlifting doesn't mean just heavy. Like the 14-pound wall ball is weightlifting. The light bench press is weightlifting. So
you're telling me you guys programmed a CrossFit competition?
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I want to keep it true to what we believe in.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
The meters on the row was intentional, and we talked about that. We definitely wanted to we talked about putting the rope the jump rope at the end of that shipper. Mm-hmm. Worry that that's going to trip some people up, no pun intended. Trip up.
I want to know what it is.
And then the deadlift weight initially was heavy, so much so that when we released those clues, the synced and deadly initially said this will be heavy and fast. And then right before we posted it, I'm like, take out heavy. I just wanted to write this will be fast.
Okay.
And so sure, for some people that deadlift is not light, but I do not think it would be heavy. I think it's like right in the middle there.
Got it.
And like Samantha said, when we finally decided on this, she's like, we really don't have a moderate weightlifting. Maybe that 70-53 goblet squat at the end, but only 5 teams are going to do that. So up until then, we didn't really have a moderately heavy weightlifting implement. So.
Can you walk me through the final and why you guys picked the movements you did? Why did you decide on the carry or on the hold? I guess just like, what was your guys' thoughts behind the final?
Well, I think the movements haven't really changed much from my initial.
No, I feel like that one's been the most consistent.
Well, yeah, I'd just say the movements on all the workouts. but just the nuances. I don't know how. I think we just decided as we were about to test it. Her brain is very good at like the execution side of it. It's like, okay, well, where are they going to stand, and how are they going to transition, and how is it going to fit into like the judge aspect of it. And so I think when we set it up, we were like, we talked about a couple different things.
We had talked about making the other partner hold in a handstand against the wall.
Yeah.
That would have been
So it
awesome.
was like you bowl. So while anybody was up, one person had to be up with their hands on some line. We hadn't decided that all the way in. I couldn't remember. While the other person accumulated wall walks. I think
Interesting.
the main reason we didn't do that was just space, like he's saying, like execution wise. And that would have been a lot of upside down time.
That final's gonna be
People getting lightheaded.
That final's gonna be done on this side of the gym, kind of like last year. We'll close down everything on there, bring everybody in, and kind of highlight the final. So it's like I wanted 5. We don't have 10 wall walk spots in this corner on this side. So I think that's ultimately why we ended on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think just as we're setting it up, it's like even the transition of like the rope and being in the cage during the rope climbs, those things aren't really decided until we lay it out and look at it and think about how it's going to be executed. So I don't know what else we had talked about.
Well, you had talked about initially having to hold the kettlebells for the ring muscle ups to count as well. And 1 space, and then 2, we just kind of felt like that was unnecessary. And then I feel like, especially after we tested it, because we didn't test the whole thing, but we tested the wall walk goblet squat portion to see like how long that would take. And we were like, we just feel like the hold at that point feels unnecessary. And this way they can just stay, the kettlebells can just stay where they're at, like in the video, and then everybody can move to their rings and not have to worry about the kettlebells.
Do you feel like the kettlebell taxed the grip, taxed the shoulder? Where were you taxed with the kettlebells?
We did we do the full thing? Oh yeah, we did.
We did do the full thing, and you held them for longer than I did, so that's crazy. That I feel like they taxed my grip. My forearms.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's also you're holding the same weight as me, right? So it's like I'm not holding.
Oh
heavily.
yeah. Key there.
Got it. Okay.
If you're
The men are going to be more apt to hold a 70 and 53 than the women are going to be to hold.
I know.
70.
I'm tempted to be like, Josh, you just hold them. I'll do 20 wall walks.
I mean,
Going into it, well,
when we
I don't
tested
think-
it, I did more
I would say
wall
that would
walks.
do 2 things. For you can smash wall walks, but going right into 40 goblet squats.
Right.
And then for him holding
Those-
for a
yeah.
minute and a half, 2 minutes.
For
and
sure.
then having
Yeah,
to do
absolutely.
this. Oh, I'm glad you said.
Yeah,
I'm glad
just
you asked
remembered.
what was hard, because as you looked at that, you're like,
This.
as you looked at some of the guesses, you're like, I can imagine this taxing this
Was
after doing this and then expecting to muscle up.
Oh, yeah. That's a good
Blows up
point.
your biceps and your shoulder.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think we both finished that and we're like, no.
Did you guys do any ring muscle ups right after? Like maybe 1 or?
She did
I
a
think
couple,
I did.
I think.
Yeah, I did a couple. I think he was still on no ring muscle.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
When did I jump up there and do some?
I don't
When
know.
we tested it.
Oh, maybe you did. You might have done 1 or 2 after we tested it.
Oh, you did them when we shot the flow video.
Oh.
When we tested.
I didn't do. That's right.
No,
I
you
didn't.
did 1
Oh,
or
did
2.
I? Okay. I was like, I might not have.
So we wanted to see how fast we could get through the 20 and the 40, because we didn't want like 1 minute for ring muscle ups, but we also didn't want 5 minutes.
Right.
And then so we kind of pushed it, and then we're like, okay, that's about the right time. And then I was like, I'm gonna jump up there and just see what it feels like. So I think I did 3 or 4.
Yeah, and I
then
did
you
1
did
or
1 or
2.
2, and then I jumped back up and did 5, or maybe another 3 or 4. But that was like the first day I had done ring muscle ups after my tricep injury. So, and yeah, on these testing, we're like going hard, but we're also not like warmed up and don't have competition adrenaline.
Right.
It's just like we just did it to see how it went.
Right.
So,
That'll
I
be.
don't think we really answered. I think I just threw movements down, time domains down, just like we program anything. Like okay, it's done. I remember texting 65 Roses group, I'm like, programming's done. And Daniel's like, well, that was fast.
Yeah.
And Hoffer wrote back, he's like, you're talking to a guy that dreams programming.
Yeah. And then I did it right back, but I want to be like, they're not done.
There's a blueprint. It needs to be polished.
And then like 20 minutes later, I'm talking to Trish. I'm like, well, what do you think about this? Like, I don't know if I like that. And then obviously me and Samantha are gonna poke holes and prod and change. So I don't know. I think I don't know if there's any other thing. There was something you said, like the original one that I had, or is that what you're talking about, the calories on the row? There was something you said.
Yeah, there was,
The original one. I was like, oh, I don't even remember what the original
yeah,
was.
the original,
Might have been.
the original of the first one, the toes to bar, bench press, and rowing, was you had calories and then the bench press heavier. So we've kind of talked through that. We had also talked about trying to do that in a different way with like max reps. So it was kind of interesting whoever brought up max reps.
Yeah,
the
Flynn.
main reason we didn't is just because of the bench press weight.
Okay.
And then we tested.
Talked about like a buy-in
Yeah.
on the row and in remaining time max bench press.
So where
And
you could buy in
when you're
however.
riding, well, I think when you're riding a team competition, there should be a number of elements. You alternate full rounds, like you'll see in partner workouts here.
Right.
You share reps, you synchro reps, right? You have to split reps evenly, like whatever. So I like, as a team competitor, there being multifacets. And so we didn't have an alternate full rounds at that time. And I was like, I think this is a good one. You alternate full rounds.
I think one reason I didn't want to I didn't have the alternate full rounds in my head when I made that prediction is I remember last year at 65 Roses, I'm like, all these teams are pretty much doing solo workouts just next to each other.
Yeah.
I was like, all of these are like really hard. Usually you'll get like a good work to rest ratio. And last year at 65, I was like, these are just freaking grinding workouts. Like these are tough.
Well, I will say, we tested this one and we finished and we were like, that's it.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I agree. You can, if you don't do enough mixing and matching, if you do all synchroed or you just share it, you can lose a little bit of the team element. But I like, you and Josh came to mind a lot. You and Josh and Mac and Jay.
Mac, that's their new
Mac
couple
and
name.
Jag.
Meg and Jack.
Came to mind a lot, and do you start Josh on the rower because he's that much better of a rower? But like, you're probably that much better of a toe-to bar, and it's like, where does the bench fall into that? And so on that one, you can pick. Like Josh could start the first one, you could start the second.
Okay.
one. So yeah,
I like it.
I like this when there's some strategy element into it, and it's not just a beat down. But like the burpee one, there's not really much strategy. You both got to do
The whole
18,
thing.
12,
Right.
7 burpees. So anyway, I think we should probably wrap up.
Okay, last question. Why the 800 meter run together?
It's 1,000.
It's 1,000.
Oh, sorry. Why the 1,000 run together and nothing else together? And obviously, equipment-wise, like you can run together. You can't both C2 bike. We'd have a ton of stuff. But I guess why did you decide, okay, let's all run together instead of doing like...
I want to clarify, you don't have to run together, but both people have to do the run.
Got it. And is it loops?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, like we saw in the team semifinals, Go CrossFit, they had us run. I think athletes should be able to run. I didn't like the idea of Josh doing all the running and then you hanging out and doing whatever, all the wall balls, you know?
Okay.
So I think both athletes, I like the idea of both athletes doing 1,000 meters on the run. And then after that, it's kind of go. Like when Courtney and I did it, like we were pushing the bike pace and pushing to hang on to big sets of wall balls. So I think if you made that one synchro, it's a longer one, you kind of lose some intensity. The run, I think, doesn't. If you run too fast, I think that's a bad idea. But you obviously can't run too slow. So
Right.
it's just a buy-in that I think everybody should be. If you're not apt to running, I think you should be.
I like it. I think that's a good place to wrap up. Any closing thoughts for you guys? No? Okay, so I think those workouts sound awesome. There's still time to sign up for 65 Roses. Right now we have
Halfway full.
We have 9 scaled teams and 6 RX teams right now. We will cap it at 16 in each division, but we want at least 12. So if you know anybody and you need a partner, hit us up. We can find you a partner, or text
name?
everyone named Kylie.
Kylie. Damn.
Kylie, we can get you a partner, even though you're already signed up without one. So sign up, let us know if you have any questions, and thank you for joining us on the Salty Hive Experience. We'll see you next time. Woo!